I have a 30-minute body tune-up for you. This will be great for you if you're wanting to get back exercising and you just want to start off with a little bit of movement. Nothing super intense, but we will do some really high quality core movements to get our cores turned on and just working properly. We'll do some stretches for our hips to get those opened up, and then we'll do a standing movement to put our core and our balance to work at the end of this. We'll do each set of movements for 2 rounds. I'll start by demonstrating each one before we do it together. So this first one is a dead bug. I'll lay back with my knees bent into a tabletop position, my hands pressed straight up to the ceiling, and I'll drop one arm down and the opposite leg down to the ground. And then I'll bring both of those back up and I'll switch. When you do this movement correctly, you'll feel it in your core. If you're not quite there, try pressing your back so that's flat into the ground and rotating your hips up off of the ground so you can get an even deeper press with your spine into the ground. Once your spine is pressed into the ground, you want to keep it there as you lower your arm and your leg. So we'll do this for 30 seconds, getting started on alternating dead bugs. And we'll rest in 3, 2, 1. I'll demonstrate this next movement. So again, laying down on your back, we'll lift both feet up and legs are going to be straight in the air. And I'll tuck my hands underneath my butt and then alternate lowering one leg down and then bringing it back up, keeping both legs as straight as I can the whole time. So I'll return both feet to the top and then drop one leg at a time. So let's do this together for 30 seconds. And rest in 3, 2, 1. Demonstrating this next movement, I'll have one knee bent and my other leg extended flat on the ground. The same arm as the knee that's bent is the arm I'll press into the air. And from there, I'll prop myself up onto my other elbow and then prop up one more time to my hand and then return back to the ground. And just keep repeating this, propping myself up first on my elbow and then pressing all the way up to my hand, and we'll repeat this. We'll go for 30 seconds on each side. So go ahead and get set up if you're not already, and we'll go 30 seconds on this side together. We'll rest in 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Let's switch sides. Getting started on the other side, we'll have the same hand as the bent knee pressed into the air, and we'll start propping up on the elbow and up to the hand, 30 seconds. Rest in 3, 2, 1. Great. The last movement in this set is a glute bridge hold with extended knees. So unlike a regular glute bridge, I'm going to extend my feet out just a little bit further than I normally would. Once I have my back pressed flat into the ground, I'm going to drive up with the bottom of my hips first and hold that in the air. We're going to do 3 10-second holds together. So starting with your back pressed really flat into the ground, rotate the bottom of your hips and press through the bottom of your hips into the air first. You should feel this in the back of your legs and your hamstrings. We'll hold this. Hold, hold, hold. 3, 2, 1. Rest. We'll get ready to go right back up and we'll lift up. Hold this for 10 seconds. We'll come down in 3, 2, 1. Let's get ready to press up for one more hold and we'll come up. Hold, hold, hold. Nice job. Almost through these 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rest. We'll take these 4 movements back to the top, starting with an alternating dead bug for 30 seconds. So we'll bring knees up, hands up, and go ahead and drop. Alternating each side. We'll rest in 3, 2, 1. Great. Let's go right into alternating leg lowering. We'll lift both legs up, tuck your hands underneath your butt, and we'll alternate dropping each leg down. 30 seconds. We'll rest in 3, 2, 1. Nice job. We'll get ready for Turkish sit-ups. So we'll have one knee up, the other leg extended out, and we'll get that one hand pressed in the air, and we'll go 30 seconds on each side. Ready? Let's press. And we'll switch sides in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and switch. And let's press up on the other side. We'll rest in 3, 2, 1. Nice job. We'll do our last set of static glute bridges here with extended knees. So we'll get those legs extended out, back flat and hips up. Hold that for 10 seconds. Rest in 3, 2, 1. Rest. We'll get ready to go right back up into it, and we'll press up. Hold that 10 seconds. Nice job, keep holding. We have 3, 2, 1, rest. Last press here, let's bring it up. Hold that 10 seconds. And we'll rest 3, 2, 1, nice job. And we'll get ready for some wrist warm-ups before our next set. So we'll do some wrist warm-ups just to get them ready to support our weight while we do some planks. We'll start with the backs of our palms pressed together, and we'll make circles. And as you make these circles really slowly, just keep your palms connected, or keep your wrists connected and touching the whole time. And we'll just make circles going out really slowly. There's no rush for this. We're just getting our wrists moving around just a little bit before we move into some planks. We'll switch the directions and bring our wrists back inward and just change the direction of the rotations, keeping the palms or the wrists touching together still the whole time. Let's lace our fingers together and make a few waves going one direction. And we'll switch directions. A few waves going this way. Keeping that lace, we'll press our fingers out. Gentle stretch in our fingers, gentle stretch in the wrists. Bring it back in and we'll press out again the same way. Press out. If there's a bit too much weight on your ankles or feet, you can come up onto your knees and we'll rotate our hands backwards and have our palms down. And all of my weight is in my legs. I'm just very gently rocking around my wrists, not really putting any weight in them. All of my weight's sitting pretty far back onto my knees and my feet. And I'm just making pretty small, gentle circles. Keeping the same palm position, I'll go back and forward, really gently still. And I'll flip my palms the other way. I still want to keep all my weight back in my knees and my feet. And with my palms gently flipped the other way, I'll rock side to side. Almost done here. I'll flip them out the other way and again side to side. And now I'll just shake them out really gently, building up a little bit harder as I go, but start off really gently with these and just shake your wrists out. And let's get ready for this next set of exercises. I'll start by showing you this first one. I'll start in a plank and keeping my hips up pretty high. We want to take any tension off of your knees for this, especially if this is going to be a new position for you. Keeping your hips high up in the air will help take the tension off of your knees, but in general, you should feel this in the front of your legs. I will inch my feet up until about halfway to my hands, keeping my hips up in the air, and then I'll walk my feet back and return to the plank. We'll do this about 3 times in a row and it should take 30 seconds. So let's start in a plank and we'll inch the feet forward to about halfway to your hands. Keep your hips up to keep the tension off of your knees. And then we'll walk backwards, returning to a plank and go right back up, switching feet. So I'll step forward with my other foot this time, walk my feet to halfway to my hands, and then return back. After this plank, we have one more, walking forward to about halfway, keeping your hips up, and then we'll walk back, return to the plank, and rest. Next one, we'll go for cat-cow. So we'll tuck the chin under, spine up to the ceiling, and then we'll rotate the other way. Spine rotated towards the ground and chin up towards the sky. Rotate again, spine to the ceiling, chin tucked underneath, and we'll keep going back and forth here for 30 seconds. We'll start the official 30 seconds here, so go ahead and enjoy these. Just really gently back and forth, getting some movement in your spine. And we'll rest this in 3, 2, 1, rest. I'll demonstrate this next movement. We have a bird dog. We'll start on all fours. We'll extend one hand out to the front and the other leg out to the back, or the opposite leg out to the back. And then, keeping that arm extended front, I'm just gonna tuck my knee underneath and push it back. If you can touch your knee to your elbow for all 30 seconds, or just go ahead and bring your knee up as far as you can and press it back. But we'll do one side for 30 seconds. Go ahead. With that knee pressing backwards, we're working our glutes and hamstrings, bringing it back forward. We're using our core to find the balance so we don't topple over. And we'll keep repeating this. Nice job. We'll switch sides in 3, 2, 1, rest. Starting 30 seconds on the other side, we'll go ahead. We'll rest this in 3, 2, 1, rest. Nice job. And we'll take these 3 movements back to the top for one more round. Starting in a plank, we'll inch our feet forward to halfway to our hands, keeping the hips high, and return to the plank. Go ahead. And return the feet back to the plank. And we'll go for the other side. Other foot presses forward, up to halfway, and we'll walk it back into a plank. One more time, switch feet again. Inch up forward to halfway to your hands, hips up, and walk back. Return to a plank, and we'll rest. Nice job. Let's take it into a cat-cow for 30 seconds. Give your spine some movement. Give your legs and arms a rest. And we'll get ready for a bird dog in 3, 2, 1. Let's get ready on all fours. We'll get one arm up, the other leg extended out, and we have a knee drive for 30 seconds here.
You know that I will love you. You know that I will love you. I wanna love you. You know that I will love you. You know that I will love you.
And we'll switch in 3, 2, 1, switch. The other hand extended out, as well as the opposite leg, and we'll knee drive from here for 30 seconds. And we'll rest in 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Before we start this next set of stretching, if you have something like a pillow or cushion you can put underneath your knee, that might be useful for the last move in this set. We'll start in a straddle with our legs opened wide. And we will build this movement up for about a minute. So take your time. It should start really easy and build up really slowly. We'll just sweep our hands from side to side, starting really close to the body, really not feeling much of a stretch in these first few rounds side to side. And each time we're just gonna press out a little bit further until we start to find a stretch. Pressing out a little bit further and finishing all the way at your other leg, pulling back in just a little bit, and we'll push out, sweep around, and pull it back in the opposite side. We'll press out, getting out to our end range now, and pulling it back in. And now we'll take the hands starting outside of your legs and sweep around, finish outside of the other leg, and again press outside of that leg, sweep around in range and outside of your opposite leg there. And we'll press our last sweep across to the other side. And now we'll stretch our glutes. I'll start by crossing one foot over the opposite leg, and then I'm going to pull my knee toward my opposite shoulder. So using the arm opposite my knee, I'm going to hook that knee and try to pull it towards my shoulder, keeping my hips square flat on the ground. As I'm pulling my knee, I'm trying to rotate my shoulders in further into my hip. I'm looking for a pretty deep stretch in my glutes. And we'll rest and switch to the other side. Hook the opposite elbow around the knee, and you'll pull that knee into that opposite shoulder and rotate your shoulders around into the direction of your hips and see if you can find a really deep stretch in your glutes. If you feel that hip coming up off the ground that you're pulling the knee of, just press it back down into the ground and keep on pulling your knee. And we'll rest. We'll come into half kneeling. So one knee will be on the cushion or something that you might want to soften that a little bit, and the other foot will be on the ground. And I'm gonna really gently squeeze my glutes so my hips are tucked underneath me. Notice I'm not leaning my hips forward. I'm not leaning into a deep lunge here. I'm just keeping my hips tucked right underneath me. I feel a really good stretch here. Reach my arms into the air, and then I'm gonna fold backwards and just keep that tension really gently in my glutes so I can press through my hip flexors and quads and stretch those out for these 30 seconds. And we'll rest. Switch sides. Again, we'll start by really gently squeezing your glute and just finding that stretch in your hip flexor and quad. Once you have that, we'll sweep the arms up over your head and press into the sky. Pressing upward, feeling that balance trying to happen there, and then fold your elbows backward. Gently squeezing your hips, trying to find that stretch in your hip flexors and hamstring. And we'll rest here. Let's take it one more time from the top, from the straddle, starting really easily. There's not too much stretch going on at the beginning of this. We'll build it up for a minute, sweeping side to side, going just a little bit further out each time. Now we'll start this sweep from outside the leg, push out to your end range, finishing on the other side, outside of the leg again, and pressing back out from outside. Last sweep here, and we'll get ready to stretch the glutes. This time, as we cross one leg over and pull the knee into the opposite shoulder, we're also going to use the tension that we can create in our leg to press our leg further into the position. So along with pulling my knee, I'm also pressing my leg into my shoulder and into my chest as much as I can, just using the force I can create within my own hip. So I could let go of my leg and my leg would basically still be in the same position. We'll rest here and switch sides and do the same thing. Cross one foot over, pull the knee to the opposite shoulder, and we're going to create some tension ourselves in the leg and try to press that leg even further. You might notice as you start to press, you feel less stretch in your glutes, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Balance out that force so it's not just all pulling. There's some pushing that you're doing with your own leg. We'll rest here and go into half kneeling. So let's get a gentle squeeze and that hips tucked up underneath. You feel a stretch in the front. Once you have that, extend both arms up to the sky, press, press, press. And we'll rest and switch sides. Really gentle squeeze in the glutes. Once you have that, we'll sweep the arms up, press to the sky, really long, keep that squeeze, and then fold the elbows back. Hold here, keep that press, or that squeeze in your glutes really gently so you feel a stretch in the front. And we'll rest. Great job. I'm gonna demonstrate the last movement we have here. So we'll have a split squat, basically a lunge. I'm gonna lunge down, drop down, my knee only to halfway, and then back up. So I'm not taking my knee all the way to the ground. We'll do this 5 times on one side, and then keeping the front leg where it's at, we'll bring the back foot forward. I'll find my balance. Once I have it, I'm gonna shoot my back leg up into the air and extend it out. So I'm trying to keep my balance while my other foot's not on the ground. So we'll get started together on the other side. Let's do 5 lunges, just to halfway with the back knee, keeping your front foot flat on the ground for each lunge. We have 2 more, halfway down, 1 more. Great, and we'll come up so we're balancing on 1 foot. We'll extend that leg back and return it to the ground to catch a quick balance, and then back up into the air. 3, 2 more, 4, extend it back 1 more time, 5. Staying on the same side, let's lunge again. Knee halfway down for 1, down 2, halfway down, 3, halfway down, 4, 1 more time, halfway, 5, and coming up for that balance practice, we'll extend that leg up and back. I did the wrong thing here, but we're gonna extend back again for 2, 3, 4, 1 more, extend back for 5. Nice job. We'll switch sides and do the same thing. So let's get ready to split squat. So we'll drop that back knee down halfway and back up for 1, halfway, back up for 2, back up for 3, back up for 4, back up for 5, and come up for the balance. We'll extend that back leg up for 1, 2, back down to the ground, 3, 4, 5. That front foot should be doing some work. We're gonna do another set of lunges here. So we'll drop that back knee down for 1. Back knee down halfway, 2, halfway, 3, 4, 1 more time, 5, and we'll do the balance. Extending that back leg up for 1, back to the ground, 2, to the ground, 3, to the ground, 4, last one, 5. Nice job. And that was my body tune-up for you. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you for the next one.